Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome to another episode of Gaijin Gaming. And today I'm talking about a game I actually just recently picked up. It actually was just recently released on November 11th, and that happens to be PSP release of Tactics Ogre, Unme no wa. Now, this is actually a remake of a Super Famicom release, and that is Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together. And it was originally released in 1995, and there was two other remakes for it for the Sega Saturn and the PS1, and those were released in 96 and 97. And those were developed and published by Quest. The original game designer is Matsuo Yasumi. I'll get to him in a moment. And it was published by Atlas in North America in 1998 for the PS1. And the PSP remake is actually going to be released in North America and Europe. However, there's no Europe release date set yet, unfortunately. But for North America, it is set to come out in February, on February 15th, 2011. Hopefully that stays the same. Really awesome game. So yeah, the PSP version is actually also developed by Square Enix. So just wanted to throw that out there. Some things I wanted to mention about the game. The music is composed by Sakamoto Hitoshi and Iwata Masaharu. They do a fantastic job with the soundtrack. I don't know if you know who Sakamoto is, but Sakamoto is the guy who's done like Final Fantasy Tactics music. He does a lot of I want to say he's done a lot of just like tactical kind of RPG music, and it's just his style is very fitting for the genre. And he makes awesome music. So yeah, the artists are Minagawa Hiroshi and Yoshida Akihiko. And for the PSP release, they actually have a new artist that's come along, and that's Tsubasa Masao. And the game style looks very similar. Like, I'll actually be showing you some gameplay here in a little bit, but the game style looks very similar to Final Fantasy Tactics. And the reason why that is because the key people from Quest, who originally developed and published the game in Japan, you had Matsuno Yasumi, and then you have the two artists, Minagawa Hiroshi and Yoshida Akihiko. They left Quest in 1995 and actually joined Square. And when they were with Square, they made Final Fantasy Tactics. And so that's why if you were to put the two games together, that's why they look extremely similar, and they have a very similar feel to one another, artistically and just aesthetically. You know what I mean? They're very similar cooking games. And actually, Square had bought out Quest in the early 2000s, so even though they kind of they kind of reunited with some of the old team, if I were them, I'd be a little bit bitter. Now, I can't fully get into the whole plot line and the whole story of the game because it's a tactical RPG, and it has a lot of just inner workings of different things, and there's a whole lot going on. I'll actually link you to the trailer for the opening of the game put up by Square Enix right here. And you check it out. It's in English, so don't worry. It's actually even the Japanese release, it's in English, which was kind of weird. So, but I will say this: the game's plotline has branching storylines, and what I mean by that is that you're given decisions in the game to make, and your decisions are weighted. They're not just fluff decisions to where if you make a decision, it really doesn't do anything. It actually alters how you go through the game, how people perceive you, and what happens at the end. So depending on how you do, if you're a bad person, you might lead to a bad ending. And it's not to say it's like a bad ending, but I mean in the sense of not the ending you would want to see happen to your main characters, kind of thing. Or or you might get a good ending, or you might get some kind of a middle ending, and that kind of thing. So I mean, it's if you want replayability, definitely, and if you love tactical RPGs, definitely for you. I will say this though, there was an I don't know if you read, but there's an IGN article actually up on it. You can read a little bit about it. Here's the link for it. Well, I'll put the link down below because you can't link it up on here. The link down below. And to be honest, I don't really like it because they're like, oh, you know, it's like Mass Effect on the PSP, as if Mass Effect's the only game that, or is the first game to, you know, introduce decisions in a game. So even though this game came back out in, you know, 15 years ago. So yeah. Anywho, that's that. One other thing I did want to mention before I get to the gameplay is that if you take a minute and think about this, Let Us Cling Together, Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. Now it's all part of the like Ogre Battle, Ogre Tactics Ogre series, and I didn't really think about it because I'm not the super big fan of it. I mean, I like some of the music, but I'm not like super duper know it all about it. But if you like Queen, if you're a big fan of Queen, those three might ring a bell. And actually, all three of those are Queen songs. And so somebody has. So Matsuno Yasumi was a fan of Queen. Or somebody was a fan of Queen when they came up with the titles. So if you definitely check out the music. If you're a fan of Queen, if you're not, then just kind of let it go. But yeah, really good songs. So I didn't know about it, so thought I'd share it with you guys. And yeah, so that's really about it for this. I'm going to show you some gameplay. Actually, real quick, I totally forgot to say something, as usual, because I'm just that way. But back to something about the game with replayability is that at the beginning of the game, you are actually asked a set of moral questions, and it kind of just to determine what kind of person you are. So it's things like, if you find a wallet on the street, would you return it? How much money would you take money out of it? Kind of thing, and that sort of thing. Or like, what if your girlfriend's coming on to you? How would you react? What would you do? That sort of thing. And it's presented with these tarot cards. So or tarot cards. I can never say it. But the ones where you can read different things, and how you answer those questions determines how the people in the game respond to your character, or how they think, what they think of your character. So that also adds to it. And the reason why I bring that up is not only because it's kind of an interesting thing about the game, but also because when I pre-ordered the game, I got this here. And what this here are the tarot cards themselves. So yeah, and so you have all a bunch of different ones. You have the Devil, and you have the Temperance, and just all different ones. And there's 21 altogether. And something really quick about it is that when you kill some of the enemy characters in the game, is sometimes they'll drop cards, and the cards actually they'll change the parameters of your character. So some will boost your strength, or they'll boost your vitality, intelligence, resistance, and things like that, or they'll decrease your luck and certain things like that. So that was the other thing. Sorry, I forgot about that. So please enjoy the gameplay.